Rust is a horrible cancer in the automotive world, and one of the most horrible things that can happen to your car. In the case of my 2003 Subaru, it looks super clean, but what you don't see is what kills your car. And it goes without saying that rust hides in the most secret of places. Any vehicles that have these type of trim panels need to take special preventative measures if they don't want their car to look like this. So maybe it's time that we try to remedy some of these issues. You're watching Adventure GT. The whole bed is held on by Torx-headed bolts. So you're gonna need a T25 and a T30. T25 all on the bottom, and then T30 on the very tops of those upper ones. Aside from those Torx little bits, you're also gonna need a screwdriver to pop out some of these tabs, but let's go ahead and jump into it. Guy right here, you got two of the T30s on each side that are bigger. Three, I lied, there are 6 T30s in this. Screwdriver or panel removing tool. Got little pop tabs in there too. And there. Also, if you do have the bed extender feature in your Baja, these bolts and brackets need to come out as well. Try to be a little careful moving that because these bolts have a little sleeve right in here. More Torx bolts. These are not just held on by zip ties. They also have 2 little Phillips head bolts already removed. All these decorative pins in their slot. The inside of these little clips have this little retainer split so that they can actually fit inside those. So those come out too. Big old clipper right there. And come back down here. Right there. Yeah. This guy up. There we go. These guys here are just gonna have to wiggle out. That's how those clips go. As for this guy right here, this is actually a pain in the ass to get out because it has a spring retention clip. That's impossible to see. Like, give me a sec, hold on. It's got a spring retention clip right there, and it fits down in that slot right there. You have it in, so I broke that side a little bit. But then it's also got these rubber stoppers. So once you pull out that bolt, it will just take a little convincing, and she will slip up over that. Oops. One little clip hiding way up there. These are really a bugger to take off. To get our bumper off, we got all them clips. All them clips, you can't see it. Better over here. Okay. And then that exposes the last two clips. Yay! So the thing with rust is it's always 50% worse than it actually looks. And that's clearly what's going on right here. You can see a little bit of rust, but the problem is by the time you see it, it's usually too late. One of the big problems with body panels like these, they all have these perforated holes in them, and unfortunately, that's not a very good thing. That is kind of difficult to tell, but all this grit, mud, just sits on top of that metal. And it just sits there, wears away at the paint, gets in between the seams, and rust everything out. The back cladding is only held on by bolts, little pop tabs, push clips. As for the door moldings have pop tabs as well as 3M sticky tape. But everything else is just pulled off by giving it a gentle tug. Now, because we've gotten this far, what I recommend next is, well, we got to treat the rust. And because it's rusting from the inside out, it doesn't make much sense to just spray over what's there. It'll help the visible areas that are starting from the outside, but the problem we're having is it's rusting from the inside out. So what I would recommend doing is going to Eastwood and getting some of this internal frame coating. Stuff is super runny, so it will make a mess, but doing this will ensure that it'll cover all those vulnerable places. Unfortunately, it's like a week on shipping, and I want to do this now. So as for today, I'm going to be putting some of this Duplicolor rust barrier on there because it says paints over rust and bare metal, and it seals. Like I say, rust jobs always turn into huge projects. So now what we're going to move on to is using a wire wheel or a screwdriver and grabbing off all this flaky rust. Obviously, you don't have to worry about being careful with the paint too much because the cladding is going to cover all that anyways. Unfortunately, that's our stopping point for today. I'm waiting on that internal frame coating to show up for shipping, and it might take a week. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to drive her around kind of naked for a little while until that shows up, because it's not worth putting those panels back on. So let's fast forward you guys a whole week. So deer jumped out of a ditch, ran into me, and that sucks. But we'll have to fix that later. Anyways, this is what the important thing is, because this little wand that comes in here goes inside all those little crevices. And this will leave a nice little coating over all the rust in there to keep it from going any further. With what we sprayed on the inside and with what we sprayed on the outside, that'll give us a nice barrier a nice shield against all the salt and all the rust that's going on. It should stomp the rust in its tracks, keep it from going any further, and give us a lot more life out of this. Alrighty, so, wow, we're all wrapped up, and we actually went through I think I got one can sitting over there, 5 different cans, and I mean, yeah, it's disgusting. This stuff, it makes quite a mess, and it looks horrible, but like I said, we were careful-ish. We put that cladding back on, it'll cover up a lot. Go ahead and take a clay bar to your paint. It'll remove all the spray paint and return it back to that clear coat gloss. So it's ugly, but we know we're protected now, and that's what we're going for. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be a wrap on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. We got more Baja content coming on the way. We're gonna add heated mirrors, JDM headlights, basically fix everything that this deer wrecked down the side of our car, because we've worked on it this long. We're not gonna let it go. We're gonna fix everything up. We're gonna put some more Baja videos here and here, things we've done on the channel. And all right, I'm gonna call it right there. This is Jake with Adventure GT, and I'll catch you later.